This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday. It is almost the weekend, something to look forward to. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. 5 o'clock on July the 20th. Let's get the forecast first off from our friend John Scalzi. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. Well, not much has changed in the forecast department, actually, over the last 24 hours. We're still seeing this morning a few scattered showers along the coastline, and that really kind of remains unchanged. Those showers will gradually drift closer to the coastline as we progress through the morning hours and eventually become stronger, larger storms in inland areas by the second half of the afternoon. We'll watch a mix of sun and clouds to start off your day with a daytime high close to the 90 mark, hit 89 yesterday, and we'll have about a 40 to 50% chance of storms, mostly in inland areas later in the afternoon. We'll have that and the complete weekend forecast for you coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, Russ. Checking Suncoast traffic right now. We'll see a little buildup there on 15th Street East in the northbound direction in Manatee County. Otherwise pretty clear. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. 41 busy northbound as you head toward University. Otherwise all clear. And South County will check out nothing to report at 5:02 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this morning, the search continues for the man who robbed a Bradenton shoe store last week.
Video from the store was just released. It's very clear and it shows exactly what happened. Our Rick Adams has the latest.
Well, the robbery took place right back there at the Payless Shoe Store. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is hopeful that a video that was just released will help lead them to the suspect. Take a look at this video from inside the Payless Shoe Store in Bradenton. It shows a man going behind the counter and demanding money from the female worker, indicating that he was armed. He would run off with an undisclosed amount of money. Bernadette is a Bradenton resident who occasionally shops at the strip mall. She was shocked to hear about this robbery.
Pretty nervous. I mean, that's sad to hear that that's going on in this area.
This robbery also makes Justin Doherty a little nervous. He's an assistant general manager at Firehouse Subs, which is near Payless Shoes.
Obviously, you know, when I'm looking after my employees as well, I was concerned for their safety. Because, I mean, it was just a couple stores down. So, I mean, we just want to make sure everyone just locks their doors in the morning if you're not open yet. Just use extra precautions, never walk out alone.
The robbery at Payless Shoes did happen in broad daylight just after 10 o'clock last Wednesday morning. The suspect is described as a white male in his late 40s to early 50s, 5 feet 7 inches tall with a slim build and graying hair. And if you do recognize the suspect, you're being asked to contact the Manatee County Sheriff's Office immediately. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
We're learning more about the overturned sentence in the 2004 kidnapping and murder of a Sarasota girl, Carly Bruscia. Her convicted killer's death sentence now in question because of a new state law. Joseph Smith was convicted in the 11-year-old's murder, then sentenced to death. But now, due to a new state law requiring a unanimous verdict for a death sentence, Smith is getting a new sentencing hearing. According to a criminal defense attorney, that may be an uphill battle for the state.
Recent death penalty cases in this area have not been able to obtain a unanimous verdict. They're going to have to reconstruct the emotion and the information that was put forth in the penalty phase of that first trial.
A new sentencing phase could begin in Sarasota as early as April of next year.
Talks continue about Longboat Key being in just one county. Currently, the 10-mile stretch is in Sarasota and Manatee counties, so Longboat Key, therefore, has 2 tax collectors, 2 court systems, 2 property appraisers, 2 election supervisors, and 2 different property tax rates. In fact, those who live on the Manatee County end of Longboat Key pay about $2.5 million more collectively in property taxes than those on the Sarasota end of the island.
It is a little bit of an administrative burden. We've become accustomed to it because it's been that way forever, so our systems do accommodate it. But the most important element is, what are our citizens' experience? And there's no question they're experiencing different taxes depending on where you live for the same services.
Town officials say they will eventually have to talk about this 2-county issue with the Florida State Legislature because the state has the final say. Town officials say this can take years before anything happens.
The city of Venice is looking into allegations of harassment at the Venice fishing pier. An email complaint sent to the city claims some fishermen have been behaving inappropriately at the pier during the evenings. Venice police investigated but have not found any evidence of poor behavior. The pier is open 24 hours a day, but if the city feels that becomes a problem, they could start to restrict those hours.
We have received some suggestions to close the pier, but honestly, what I'd like to do is address those issues, those disturbances, those threats, those complaints, and I'd like to fix that behavior so that the pier can remain open for the people that truly want to enjoy it.
The City Council would need to meet and then decide to restrict those hours. However, members are on summer break until mid-August. We'll have more on what the city might do moving forward next hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
A woman locked her keys and her 16-year-old blind dog in a hot car, and Sarasota Sheriff deputies came to the rescue. Here's a shot afterward. Deputy Luke Snagowski and the dog as he rehydrates him after using special tools to unlock the car and rescue the dog. He was in there for 45 minutes. The owner and dog are now doing well, but it prompts animal services to remind people about keeping their pets in the heat. Deputies say the inside of a car with no air conditioning can reach 120 degrees.
If you don't need to bring your pet with you to go somewhere, leave your pet at home, and that would solve a lot of these situations where people leave their pets in the car and they think, oh, I'm only going to be in the store 10 minutes, and 10 minutes turns into 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you come out and your pet is severely injured or dead.
While the incident was ruled accidental, deputies say you can be charged with a civil fine or criminal offense if you intentionally leave your pet in a hot car.
As airports in Tampa and Punta Gorda add new flight options for travelers, so is Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, but only for seasonal flights. It's the low-fare carriers like Frontier and Allegiant that are helping secondary airports such as Punta Gorda grow. It's a market that SRQ President Rick Piccolo says Sarasota doesn't quite fit into. Piccolo says, unfortunately, those network carriers that SRQ houses such as Delta, American, and United are not growing, but still, he says the airport will soon be adding more flights.
All of our seasonal services, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Newark, are all going to start a month or two earlier. And the only way we're going to grow is if people support the airport. If people continue to drive to other airports, there's no incentive for the airline to locate service here.
In the summer, nearly 30 flights take off from SRQ every day, but in the winter, that number rises anywhere between 40 and 50.
Renovations at the Bobby Jones Golf Course in Sarasota are now moving forward. The City Commission voted last year to make upgrades to the city-owned facility, and a group was formed to oversee the project. They hired a consultant for $100,000 to make recommendations, and those ideas will now go before the City Commission for final approval.
We need new drainage, we need new irrigation. He's going to look at each and every hole and try to determine if could be some length added or if there's better bunker placement.
The city has previously discussed a possible budget of $14 million for this project. The city-owned golf course has lost money every year over the past decade, and some taxpayers suggest the city sell the 90-year-old facility.
Efforts to transform 42 acres of land along Sarasota's bayfront has now reached its next phase of planning, design. For the past 3 years, the Bayfront Planning Organization has been working to transform and update the city land that includes the Van Wezel, the Convention Center, Botanical Gardens, and the old Gee Whiz building. The idea is to transform it into a new entertainment district, and now the organization is looking for its design team. While plans to create the area's next cultural attraction moves forward, the community remains mixed on those efforts.
This definitely looks like it could use a facelift, and I'm sure some new modern area for people to walk around and enjoy, and restaurants and everything facing this beautiful bay would be a great idea.
It's built up enough, and any additional building up is a bad idea, but I feel pretty strongly about the overdevelopment in Sarasota. I've lived here 11 years now, and to me, it's gotten worse every year. So,
the request for considerations deadline is September 1st.
Happening today, a Sarasota business group is hosting a Pinellas senator who may run for governor. The Argus Foundation has its annual Meet the Minds luncheon today, and the keynote speaker is Jack Latvala. He is serving his 4th term in the state Senate. He's received nearly 200 honors and awards for his legislative service, including being named Legislator of the Year Meet the Minds begins this morning at 11:30 at the Sarasota Yacht Club.
Sarasota County is looking for volunteers to help during disasters such as hurricanes or floods. Volunteers would work at reception centers in the event of a disaster. That's where people who want to help can go get their volunteer assignments. Those interested can attend a recruitment and training workshop next Tuesday, July 25th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. That'll be at the Twin Lakes Park on Clark Road in Sarasota.
Happening today, the Women's Resource Center is hosting a Christmas in July event. It's being held at an upscale resale store called the Unique Boutique. The event will also feature big discounts on merchandise from local vendors, featuring products from Suncoast businesses. It all kicks off at noon and runs till 6 p.m. at the Unique Boutique, I love saying that, on 12th Street West in Bradenton. Christmas in July. How about that, John?
Cool.
Well said.
Well, it won't be so cool, actually.
It won't be quite like Christmas.
That's great. They do such good work, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good organization. We have across our region today, again, the same sort of pattern kind of locked in, but changes maybe down the road. We'll talk about that in a sec.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, we'll tell you about a unique festival for psychic lovers coming to Sarasota.
And the president says he wouldn't have picked his attorney general if he knew one thing before the decision. We'll tell you what that is coming up at 5:34.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
ABC7's official Suncoast Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Download yours today at mysuncoast.com. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, we're about exactly where we were yesterday with a temperature of 76 degrees and a dew point of 74. Within a couple of degrees of one another, making it feel kind of humid outside. Dew point value, or the humidity value rather, Relative humidity coming in at 94%. Got some cloud cover out there. We've got some rain in spots as well. Light rain for the most part, drizzle, things like that. But some thunderstorms out in Gulf waters. Kind of the exact same scenario as yesterday morning. 74 degrees in Wauchula. Arcadia comes in at 75, 74 Mayaca. Parrish and Bradenton and Lakewood Ranch all at 75, 76 degrees in Northport. 77 Venice, Inglewood, and 81 steamy degrees at Longboat Key. So across the region, again today, we have scattered showers kind of ringing the peninsula, starting in the mid-Atlantic, traveling down the coast, around the tip of the state, back up the other coast, and all the way out into the upper and northern parts of the Gulf waters. So what's changed? Not a whole lot. We have this big ridge of high pressure still providing us with light and variable winds, allowing that westerly wind to develop in the afternoon as the sea breeze forms. In fact, even earlier than the afternoon, that sea breeze will start to form, I think, just before the noontime hour. We'll watch showers and thunderstorms out in Gulf waters gradually try to drift to the coast and basically die out as they do so. Still, some of them could make it onshore. We're looking at the heaviest of the rain now falling toward St. Petersburg, heading toward the Skyway Bridge. You may see a brief shower as you head over the Skyway Bridge. There are some lightning pops here. Otherwise, not a lot over land at this hour. Holmes Beach, Upper Longboat Key may see a brief sprinkle. Otherwise, we're looking at the majority of the heavy weather around the Great Lakes today, and Cleveland Airport could have some problems. Buffalo could see some problems with storminess. For us, just your standard, typical thunderstorm kind of activity, and the pattern set in place, again, by a general flow of high pressure across the Florida Peninsula. Light and variable winds, allowing for a sea breeze to form early on, and that sea breeze forcing showers and thunderstorms toward the other coast. Then, as that sea breeze dies out, a few of the showers may try to work their way back to the coastline as we head into the evening hours. Plus, some outflow from some of those storms could trigger off other sort of erratic motions as we get into the mid-afternoon period. Early coastal storms, afternoon storms inland, and that pattern stays with us right into the weekend. Forecast calls for these showers along the coastline, moving inland slowly, producing some fairly decent rainfall today, in inland areas particularly, and that pattern holds again tomorrow as well. A few of the storms may work their way back to the coast late in the day, outflow from some of the inland storms, and also the possibility of that collapsing sea breeze front. If you look at where the majority of the rain is going to fall over the next several days, it's clearly in inland areas, and it's clearly toward the other coast as well, as that sea breeze pushes those showers inland and collides with the east coast sea breeze, trying to make its way across the coastline. So the combination of those two factors producing the heavier rainfall there. As far as the next couple of days go, well, there is some drier air trying to sink southward. That could limit the number of storms that we get as we head into the weekend. Plus, some drier air out in the Atlantic may actually try to work its way here. In this image, the dry air and the wet air are shown. The wet air is what's available to produce rainfall. The dry air, indicated by the cooler colors, kind of tries to pinch off some of that warm, moist, humid air over the state of Florida. And that's what may eventually reduce our rain chances just a little bit. Look for today, a 50% chance of rain. Same thing tomorrow. Saturday, we'll drop those rain chances as maybe a little of that drier air tries to work in. Daytime highs hover around the 90 mark. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, looks like there's some big slowdowns heading northbound on 301. Also, State Road 70 as you're heading towards that intersection. I-75 and 41 looking good as we head into Sarasota County. Some congestion on 41 as you head past Bee Ridge Road, and in the southbound direction, also Clark Road heading towards the interstate. Other than that, looks like it's pretty clear in South County. Not a whole lot going on at 5:19 on your Thursday morning. Whether you believe them or not, we've all heard about psychic forces, but is there a way we can tap into them and learn more about our future?
I knew you'd ask that question. Our Linda Carson has more on Sarasota's Mystic Fair in the latest edition of In the Spotlight.
Psychic medium Candace Strafford says the moment you walk into the Mystic Fair, you feel a wonderful energy.
And you will also see psychics lined up around both sides of the room, willing to give readings on life issues such as health, relationships, family, any finance, anything that you might have questions with in your life can be answered.
And she says there are mediums to bring you messages from the other side.
Messages from loved ones that have crossed over. They can connect and bring great healing with some of the messages, and very clear, succinct messages too.
There'll be more than 30 psychics, along with a long list of free lectures and around 70 vendors.
Some of the vendors will sell crystals, and specifically healing crystals. We have a vendor selling crystal bowls and healing tools. We have some alternative health practitioners. We have a chiropractor here, an acupuncturist here. We have some Reiki energy.
Terry Crum is one of the vendors.
I'll be selling my photography as well as books with the photography that have inspirational messages.
Here's a sample.
Slow down, be quiet, ponder, listen, meditate, observe, feel, sit on the earth, feel.
Zahid Hossein is an astral palmist. He does a combination of astrology and palmistry.
What I do is I take a look at the palms of your client's hands, and I also do the astrology chart. And I compare what the planets in the hands say to what the planets in the chart say.
He says his readings are scientific and accurate.
The hands show a complete lifetime, a map of your entire life. And the lines on your hand change depending upon what the decisions are that the individual makes.
He also offers guidance.
If one has any questions at all, we have psychic readers, we have people who can speak to people beyond this lifetime. You can get answers to practically anything that you want.
The Mystic Fair at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium, Saturday and Sunday, both days starting at 11 o'clock. And they tell me everybody always leaves feeling better than when they came. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
So have you, or would you go to a psychic or a palm reader?
I have never done that before, have you?
No, not yet, no. I can see you losing $20. Oh. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you what new research suggests using Facebook popular like buttons and what it does to our responses online.
And coming up at 5:30, we'll have details on O.J. Simpson's parole hearing today as he looks to become a free man. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Nice picture there, taken by one of our viewers, Norm Schimmel, who happens to live along the Sarasota Bayfront and sends us pictures from time to time. We'd love to get the pictures from you folks out there. Whatever you got going outside your door, let us see it.
Yeah, and definitely come visit us tomorrow at Friday Fest over at the Van Wezel. We'd love to take a picture with you, see you guys out there, and come and talk with us and interact with you guys and enjoy some awesome music that's going to be out there all afternoon.
Yeah, we'll be co-hosting the event. Thousands will be there. Weather hopefully will cooperate, and that's from about 5 until about 9 tomorrow at the Van Wezel, so we'll be there. Looking forward to meeting you there.
Yeah, should be a fun time. Well, 5:25 this morning, and there's a new app claiming it is the first to match people based on, get this, things they don't like.
And Amazon has launched a new shopping-focused social media network. ABC's Candace Gibson and Ariel Rashif have details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon getting into social media.
The online retail and video giant has launched Spark. It's sort of like Instagram, and it encourages Amazon customers to post images or stories about the products they like.
Users can also tag products that can be purchased on Amazon.
The Hater app has been out on the iPhone for a couple of months now, enough time to get a feel for who hates what, where.
Okay, so Californians hate fidget spinners. In Virginia, it's dabbing pizza grease with a napkin. Ah, yes, I know. In Minnesota, they hate drinking alone.
But how else do you get the grease off the pizza?
Yeah, I don't know.
And a Facebook feature is apparently hurting our intelligence.
According to new research, Facebook likes are dumbing down the way people are communicating. Experts say giving a thumbs up stops us from responding intelligently, and the likes offer an easy interaction that doesn't require much thought.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Geico.
So your new prescription does have a few side effects.
Oh, like what?
You're gonna have dizziness, nausea, and sweaty eyelids, and in severe cases, chronic flatulence.
No.
So gassy, girl.
So gassy. If you're Boys to Men, you make anything sound good. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Next.
Next.
Introducing mocktails from Ocean Spray.
Non-alcoholic juice drinks inspired by your favorite cocktails.
Like sangria, the taste will take you away.
Got carried away.
The Paw Patrol always uses the right tools for the job. Gear up for your next adventure at VisionWorks, so your eyes have the right tools too. 2 pairs of glasses for kids are just $99, including Paw Patrol frames at VisionWorks.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right. Because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to royalcruisenow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, all eyes on a closed-circuit feed in a Nevada prison where O.J. Simpson will beg for freedom today. We'll have a preview.
Plus, Senator John McCain has been diagnosed with one of the most aggressive forms of brain cancer. We'll tell you what friends are saying about his fight.
And why is this man walking 2,000 miles carrying a cross? Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
I love this time of day. Peaceful out there right now. Quiet before the dawn breaks. Look at that shot.
Oh, wow. And then we transition into that picture. Woo!
We have cameras everywhere. Look at that.
We see you.
A peaceful Rosemary district looking at the city of Sarasota downtown in the distance. And if you could see it, it's the Sarasota Bay just beyond that.
Yeah, beautiful shot there. You know what? I have an issue I have to take up with Mother Nature. Every time I get in the car, it rains. Not when I'm in my house, when I'd like it to rain, when I'd like to be cuddled up on my couch, but when I'm in my car trying to drive, it always rains. John, what's up with that?
I have just discovered the secret of forecasting.
Okay, well.
I'll wait for you to get in the car before I predict rain, obviously. I mean, that's what's going to happen from now on.
Keep the phone lines open.
That's right. That's a relief. Finally, the secret revealed. Showers off the coast. Even some thunderstorms in progress. A situation very similar to what we've seen over the last several mornings. These showers gradually trying to drift closer to the coastline, but kind of dampening out as they do so. Still a possibility to see a few scattered showers on the coast as we progress through the morning. Mix of sun and clouds builds a sea breeze early. That promotes inland showers in the second half of the day as the coast starts to clear out. Complete forecast coming up in just a few.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Let's check the roads. First off, in Manatee County, 301 showing some slowdowns on the northbound direction as you cross over State Road 70, farther south now. First off, see a little slowdown there on the at Mound, where 41 takes a left toward the bayfront. Bit of a problem there. That's where the city is building a giant lift station. Siesta Key showing buildup there as people are leaving the beach. Surprised they're there at all. Last call. And there's the South County map. Nothing to speak of at 5:33 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, one of the most well-known names in the Senate is facing a health crisis. Senator John McCain has been diagnosed with one of the most aggressive forms of brain cancer.
But friends and colleagues say the former prisoner of war isn't backing down from this battle. John Lawrence has the story.
Senator John McCain is recovering at his home in Arizona after being diagnosed with a form of brain cancer. This was discovered after the 80-year-old Republican had surgery last week to have a blood clot removed.
I talked to the doctors. They said that he did very well from the operation. They feel like they removed all of the tumor. He was sent home the next day.
This isn't McCain's first experience with cancer. He had malignant melanomas removed in 1993, 2000, and 2002. Doctors say McCain will need follow-up treatment and that the average survival rate for this cancer is about 14 months.
There are people who with treatment do survive longer. About 10% of people will survive 5 years or longer, you know, so it's very tough to put numbers on this sort of thing.
President Trump issued a statement Wednesday night saying Senator John McCain has always been a fighter. Melania and I send our thoughts and prayers to Senator McCain, Cindy, and their entire family. Get well soon. Staffers say McCain wants to get back to Washington ASAP.
They say that he's been on the phone talking about what are we going to do about health care? What are we going to do next? How are we going to handle this or that? And just don't forget that over the July 4th break, he was in Afghanistan.
And family and friends say the Maverick won't take this fight against cancer lying down.
God knows how this ends, not me. But I do know this. This disease has never had a more worthy opponent.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Interesting story out of Washington. President Trump says he wouldn't have chosen Jeff Sessions for his attorney general if he knew he'd recuse himself from investigations into the Trump campaign. Trump spoke about Sessions in a New York Times interview this week. Trump also chided Sessions for telling the Senate he had no meetings with Russians during the campaign. It later turned out Sessions had met with a Russian ambassador at least twice.
Happening today after 9 years in prison, the fate of O.J. Simpson is expected to be heard by a Nevada parole board. This group has the power to now set him free. Simpson was slapped with an up to 33-year sentence for a 2007 botched robbery. Now, at 70 years old, the prison says Simpson has been a model inmate. And even the victim from that robbery says he plans to speak in support of Simpson's release. However, inmates who have served inside the prison with him says he received special privileges. But for the 6 commissioners on the parole board, memories of 1995 may be hard to ignore, when Simpson was famously found innocent in the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman. Tune in right here to ABC 7 starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon for live coverage of the O.J. Simpson hearing.
A follow-up now on a British infant on life support. The parents of Charlie Gard are awaiting a report from an American neurosurgeon. His opinion on the condition of their son could determine whether he lives or dies. Charlie has undergone 2 days of examination by a new team that includes a U.S. brain specialist and an Italian doctor. He has a severe genetic illness. He can't see, hear, or even breathe without assistance. British doctors want to turn off his life support, but his parents are refusing to let that happen.
He's our son, he's our flesh and blood. We feel that it should be our right as parents to decide to give him a chance at life.
Last week, a judge agreed to let the American neurosurgeon see if Charlie could benefit from an experimental treatment. He's expected to deliver a report with his opinion to the judge tomorrow.
An interesting consumer alert this morning. The national clothing chain Justice is under fire after makeup sold at their stores marketed toward young girls and tweens have been found to contain asbestos. According to reports, asbestos was found in the Just Shine Shimmer Powder makeup. Testing also found 4 heavy metals. Now, asbestos is a mineral fiber found in rock and soil, and it can increase your risk of developing lung disease if you breathe it in. The retailer now saying a supplier may have used asbestos-contaminated talcum powder when manufacturing that makeup. Justice has released a statement saying they're investigating the reports, and as of Monday, the product was out of stock on Justice's website.
A Florida man is carrying a cross more than 2,000 miles to raise awareness about addiction. Jim Downs left from Panama City back in February and has made it now to Virginia. Downs says he suffered with addiction for years and doesn't want anyone else to go through what he did.
A lot of people don't understand addiction. They don't understand that it isn't as easy as saying, just put it down. It doesn't happen like that. And my encouragement is knowing that this is making a difference.
Downs hopes to finish his walk by October when he crosses the border into Canada.
An update now on the sinkhole that swallowed up 2 homes in Pasco County earlier this week. Although the hole has stopped growing, county officials say it is still dangerous. The hole is getting wider as its banks fall in because there's no support for the sandy soil that's drying out. It's now about 235 feet wide, nearly 10 feet wider than it was just a few days ago, but it does still remain 50 feet deep. 17 water samples tested positive for total coliform, but the county plans to retest it. The hole opened up last Friday, and thankfully no one was hurt. And just a month after deciding not to move a Confederate memorial from public property, Tampa officials will take up the issue once again. County commissioners are revisiting their vote not to remove the 106-year-old monument. And 2 commissioners who originally voted against moving it now say they'll reverse their decision. Some want it removed because they see it as a harsh symbolism of racism and white supremacy. But others say its removal would be a disservice to those who fought and died in the Civil War. Now, that monument currently sits in front of the courthouse in downtown Tampa.
Florida officials now have more time to defend a 2-year-old law requiring women to wait 24 hours before receiving an abortion. More than 5 months after the Florida Supreme Court put the law on hold for a second time, a circuit judge has given those in support of the law 60 days to present evidence in favor of reinstating it. Governor Scott signed the waiting period back in 2015. It was quickly blocked by a lower court after the ACLU sued.
Women already think long and hard about this decision. Women in Florida are capable decision makers who do not need politicians micromanaging their schedules or imposing a mandatory timeout before they're allowed to make decisions about themselves.
All other invasive medical procedures have a built-in reflection period as common practice. Abortion, however, has bypassed the true intent of informed consent and has capitalized on women's vulnerability when confronting unplanned pregnancies.
Abortion rights advocates say the waiting period would create a burden on many women, especially those who live in rural communities.
Solar panel installations may soon become a common requirement for new Florida homes. South Miami's mayor says the requirement made for a new Miami suburb will reduce the cost of home ownership, make houses sell faster, create jobs, and also reduce carbon emissions. Requiring 175 square feet of solar panels per 1,000 square feet of roof. That requirement is modeled after similar ordinances passed in California cities. The measure takes effect in Miami starting in September. And the Environmental Protection Agency is considering a dozen proposed water and sewer projects, and one is right here in Florida. The EPA is inviting 12 projects in 9 different states to apply for loans from the Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act. Those projects will also leverage more than $1 billion in private capital and other funding sources, including EPA's State Revolving Fund. One of those initiatives is to reduce the environmental impact of wastewater discharged into the ocean near Miami. That project is required to be completed by 2025 in order to comply with the Florida's ocean outfall legislation.
Governor Scott is trying to get a lawsuit thrown out that stops him from choosing 3 new Supreme Court justices on his last day in office. Opponents filed a suit saying the next governor should make those choices in early 2019. 3 judges will retire on his final day due to age. Scott wants to name their replacements on his last day in office, but others want to wait in case the next governor is a Democrat. And Governor Scott is cautioning university presidents over how they spend money. Scott sent letters to the presidents of the state universities, there are 12 of them, regarding $120 million that was set aside for schools to revamp the state's higher education system. The governor says the money should be spent on initiatives that will help students avoid debt and help them get a job. 2 good goals for students.
Yes,
avoid debt, avoid debt and get a job.
It certainly is. Certainly is. We wish them well.
Yes.
Student loans are no joke.
That's right. I was paying those for years.
Yeah, it's tough. And with budget cuts now, you know. We have showers across the region. Those showers are gradually working their way closer to shore. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, are there easy ways at home that you could help prevent memory loss?
We'll tell you what activities new research suggests you could try up next in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. Services.com. AND Services.com.
ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
A little bit of cloud cover around, a temperature of 96 degrees and a dew point of 74. We are pretty much where we were 24 hours ago. 94% relative humidity. East wind light at about 3 will become westerly as we progress through the late morning hours and into the afternoon. Sea breeze starting early, pushing the shower and thunderstorm activity that is in Gulf waters a little bit closer to land. And then as we head into the afternoon, moving even further inland. Right now, temperatures fairly uniform in inland areas, a little bit warmer right along the immediate coast, mid-70s. Across the inland communities with Wauchula at 73, Arcadia at 75, and Mayaca at 74. Then along the coastline, a few degrees warmer than that. Longboat Key coming in at 80, 77 in Venice, and Inglewood coming in at 77 as well. So showers ringing the state of Florida right now. We're watching showers along our coastline produce a little bit of light rain over some areas of land, but for the most part, this is activity that's confining itself to the Gulf waters. One area of storminess is producing a little bit of light drizzle and some patchy rain across the Skyway Bridge at this hour. So if you are heading out to a commute that takes you across the Skyway, be aware there could be some light surface moisture on the roadways this morning there. And also Upper Longboat Key, Holmes Beach, seeing a little bit of light drizzle there. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet in Manatee County with just an occasional patch of sprinkles. Lakewood Ranch seeing a little bit of sprinkly activity. Most of the area pretty quiet and will be for the morning commute. As we head into the 9, 10, 11 o'clock hour, we'll start to see a few showers build along the immediate coastline. Then around the 1, 2, 3 o'clock hour, those showers will become more prevalent in inland areas as light winds across the region due to a big ridge of high pressure extending from Bermuda all the way across and nosing into Gulf waters brings us light enough winds that our sea breeze starts earlier on today. With the sea breeze forming, the onshore wind flows, showers are pushed toward the other coast, where they actually start to explode because of the east coast sea breeze meeting up with that, creating the convergence necessary to produce showers. Then that sea breeze kind of dies out as we head into the evening hours, and some of those storms may work their way back to the coast as the winds are very light, and so consequently outflow boundaries can be as important in determining storm motion as general prevailing winds. Easterly moving storms again today, early near the coast, and then Afternoon storms inland producing the heavier rainfall. That'll be the name of the game for the next several days. Now, perhaps some drier air will filter in as we head into the second half of the weekend, reducing our rain chances to about 20% on Sunday. Daytime highs, however, in the low 90s. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. Let's take a look at traffic in Manatee County. A few slowdowns on State Road 70 heading east and westbound. Other than that, not a whole lot going on in Manatee County. As we head into Sarasota County, looks like there is some congestion on Bee Ridge and Clark Road as you head towards the interstate, so keep that in mind. And as we head into South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. Not a whole lot going on your morning commute at 5:49 on your Thursday morning. It is not Tuesday.
Thanks.
In this hour's Health Smart, could preventing memory loss be as close as your running shoes?
How about even closer, your dinner plate? ABC's Janae Norman explains how new research may provide the answer.
Memory loss. When mild, nothing to worry about. But when it's a sign of severe cognitive problems or dementia, a troubling symptom, one that millions of Americans suffer to some degree. No wonder then that researchers are trying to find ways to prevent it or at least slow it down. Now, a new study out of Northwestern University suggests there might be a way. Researchers studied more than 700 people between 18 and 30, checking up on them periodically over the next 30 years, performing brain scans. Those people who exercised more, ate healthier, stopped smoking, and achieved a healthy weight were less likely to have brain scans finding memory loss, evidence of the important connection between heart health and brain health. Bottom line, the healthy things you do when young may pay off for your memory later. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman.
Looks like I'm going to need to start working out more because I can't ever remember what day of the week it is. So.
You and me both. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll update the day's top local news headlines and history uncovered in Los Angeles.
We'll tell you how crews found fossils while expanding a subway line after this.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-990-3613. That's 1-800-990-3613. Call now, 1-800-990-3613.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. It's going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, oh, yeah. Yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Joey Panic on Suncoast View, what the county is doing to control mosquitoes, plus inside secrets from the wrestling world and spice and tea exchange in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Welcome back, 5:54 this morning. Let's take a look at some of the top stories on the Suncoast.
We are getting a clear shot of a robbery in progress at a Bradenton shoe store. Detectives are trying to find the man behind the counter at this Payless store.
Plus, a woman locked her keys and her 16-year-old blind dog in a hot car, and Sarasota sheriff deputies came to the rescue. A deputy and that dog were able to rehydrate him after using special tools to unlock the car and rescue the dog.
And the city of Sarasota closer to making millions of dollars in improvements at the Bobby Jones golf course. This as some taxpayers wonder if the city should try and sell the course. It lost money each year for the past decade.
Interesting story here. History being uncovered in Los Angeles as crews found fossils of mammoths, mastodons, and bison while expanding a subway line. Now, some of these fossils are at least 10,000 years old. Just last year, crews found a tusk from an adult mammoth and the teeth of a mastodon. Also, a forearm from a camel was discovered earlier this year, as well as a leg bone and hip joint from a sloth. Now, those fossils are expected to be taken to the Natural History Museum to be studied. Interesting.
I am so glad there are people who have the patience to dig up fossils. You could probably do it. I couldn't do that kind of work. That's tedious work.
It is very tedious. I think it's commendable that crews like this, were astute enough to pick out the fact that they were onto something there as they dug a big subway line.
I know. Have you guys ever had to, in a science class or anything, had to uncover one of those types of things? You have to meticulously be very careful with it, and it's just
slow work.
Very time.
Sure he has. I haven't.
No, I actually haven't dug any fossils.
We'll have more local news headlines after this. Stay with us.